Hey guys, what's going on today? We're going to look at this knife. This is the CJRB Dirk Pinkerton design Ruffian. And I have been using this knife. As you can see, there's adhesive on there. Let's start off with doing some size comparisons. So there's the knife. Here it is next to a set of large toenail clippers. Here it is next to a guitar pick. And here it is next to a whiteout Bic roller pen. All right, so that's good with the weird stuff. Let's compare it to some pocket knives. Here it is next to one, let's see, another CJRB design. This is the Pyrite, and I just got this knife yesterday, guys, and I took it out and took it to work and used it today, and I'm going to tell you, it's going to be an interesting review, first impressions. Anyway, I'm not going to give you first impressions right now, but interesting. It's an interesting piece. Here it is next to the Paramilitary 3. So you can see it's very, very similar in size and handle and blade as the Paramilitary 3, except for it's a Wharncliffe, of course. And would be right if we didn't compare it to the Cold Steel 4MAX Scout and the Cold Steel Tough Light. Right, and as you can see, the Tough Light's a Wharncliffe as well. Kind of a competitive option right here, actually. Let's get into it. Let's do some measurements. What we got here is a 3 1/4 inch blade. Not quite 3 1/4, 3 1/8 inch cutting edge blade. A 4-inch handle, so you get just a little tiny bit more blade than you get handle. The handle is at its widest point about 1 1/8 inches. The blade is also about 1 1/8 inches, and it is just under an 1/8 inch thick. It's a liner lock. Oh, wait for it. And ta-da, it weighs 3.14 ounces. It feels heavier than that, which is strange. Huh, anyway, let's try it again. Yep, 3.14 ounces. And I know that this is fairly accurate because I weighed some other knives that I knew the weight on, and it weighed fairly good. So anyway, welcome the Ozuri scale to the Toad Sticker channel. Turn that off. All right, let's get into the blade first. This is RPM 9. This is a powdered metallurgy. If you don't know what powdered metallurgy is, they take the molten steel, they spray it through a nozzle, kind of like the tip off a spray bottle, and it aerates into the air and cools and falls to the ground and makes what's called micro ingots, which basically it looks like very fine powder or sand. That's how it got its name, powdered steel. And then, so what that does is when they reheat it up to form sheets, the powdered metal makes a really homogeneous mixture of all the components involved, and you get a very nice, well-mixed steel. It's kind of like baking a cake. The better you mix it, the better it tastes. And it's the same thing with steel. The better you mix all the ingredients, the better the steel is. So it makes it a little bit tougher and just more robust. So, and I will say from using this knife that RPM 913, it's basically 913 CRMOV steel, alphabet whatever, that's powder metal, and I'm fairly impressed with it. It drops very easily, gets sharp easy, and it seems to hold the edge fairly decent. I don't know what I would compare it to yet. Is it better than D2? It's got 9 chromium, so it's going to be more rust resistant, so that's good. And it seems to hold a pretty good edge. So I would say as far as the Chinese knife market D2 thing goes, I think I'd rather have this than the D2. Yeah. It's a Wharncliffe blade, obviously, kind of saber ground. It's not ground all the way to the top. You got your big, large opening hole here. That is the only way to open this knife, is finger flick it. I under finger flick it. You can do that to it too. I can't really get it good, fast thumb flick with the hole, but it works great that way with the finger flick. It's very slicey. It's very thin. If you look down there, it comes to a fairly thin edge behind the edge there. If I had calipers, I would get that for you, but it's a belt satin, single direction. In other words, it's all going up and down. It's a very nice grind. They did a nice job on it. The blade has this kind of zippery jimping on there. And one of the things I really like is it's the same kind of like this knife right here, the Kaiser Domen, where they ran the jimping way out there. So as far as you extend your thumb, you have jimping. I like that. You'll notice there's no disassembly of this because it's just a liner lock with bearings. Go look at the disassembly of this video or any of the other liner locks I have, and it's basically all the same thing. I didn't want to repeat it. So, but this has the same kind of jimping. It goes way out there. As far as your thumb can reach, you have jimping, and all the way back, you have jimping. So it's really nice. That makes it good. That's about it. Very piercing, of course, because it's Wharncliffe. So that's really all I got to say about the blade. It's a great slicer, great cutting tool. As you can see, it kind of looks like a utility knife blade, which is which makes it a good utility knife user. So, and that's what I like to use it for, and that's good. And we have a cat again, so I'm gonna try to make him stay down to the end of the review. The handle is purple G10. The liners are inset. They are steel liners. They are milled out for weight a little bit. You can see in there's some milling holes in there, which is nice. It's got a deep carry pocket clip. Kind of like the other CJRB knife, and there's a cat. Yeah, you're nice. You gotta go. Sorry, buddy. You can see there's some milling in there. So it's nice. They're nested liners, fully nested in the G10. This one's purple G10. I know there's other colors, but I don't have them all in my head. I did have to take and ease right down here, these little corners inside there, because they were really, really sharp, and back a little bit up in here. And what else did I do? Yeah, that was it. Because they were very sharp, and they still kind of are. And I'm going to give this thing a little bit of ding on ergonomics. I mean, when you squeeze down on it, especially this right here, really digs into your hand. I know he was going for a wider handle to give it more hand feeling, but I think the combination of the wider handle, but yet it's so thin, because the handle on this is very thin. You're looking at 3/8 of an inch, which is nice to pocket, but in hand, I don't know, just the way they did it, the way they stepped it, as you can see, these edges here are just not super comfortable. I wish they would have rounded it more like they did the butt of the knife. If they would have rounded it like the butt of the knife, all the way around, it'd be much more comfortable. So, access to the lock bar is good. As you can see there, easy to get to. And they scooped it out just a little bit, so it's easy to get your thumb kind of gets a grab on it. That's really nice. You get this kind of decorative collar around your pivot, which is nice. It is 4 corners of the earth. You can have it right, left, up, down, whatever you want. Yeah, I mean, if I was going to pay for a high-end model of this that was maybe over $100, I wouldn't want that. It's kind of ugly, but this is a $40 knife. So, and yeah, it's a great deal. Might even be better than that. I don't know. Packaging, this is what you get. Plain, simple box. It'll be in some plastic in the box with some paperwork, but nothing fancy there. That's your packaging. I think the design of the knife is really cool looking. It's neat to look at. Very squared, sharp lines, continuous line across the top here. The handle and the blade angle are kind of the same. They kind of parallel. I like that. I think that's very cool. If I was going to be a knife designer, I'd want to have a name like Dirk Pinkerton too. I love that name, Dirk Pinkerton, knife designer. It's very cool. It's very cool. I like it a lot. And there's Dirk's maker mark. And let's see if we can zoom in on this just a little bit. There's your AR RPM 9. There's your serial number or whatever, J121924. You can see adhesive and cred on my blade. There's the CJRB. It's very easy to see. I don't know why they have to make that so dang huge. Let's see here. Did they make it huge on this knife too? No, see? Why didn't they do that? Clean, easy. But for a $40 knife, this is pretty fantastic. Another great thing about it is all the screws are number 8s, except for the clip screws. And there we have a visitor again. Don't come up here right now, Arthur. So, number 8 screws all the way around. Makes it nice. They don't strip out so easy. You only need one tool to take it apart. I guess maybe I should have done a disassembly, but that's all right. So let's just move on to competitive options. Another Warncliffe that's also purple. Is this guy right here, the swayback from Kaiser. Really nice. This is a little more stabby. I kind of like that. It's almost like a reverse Tonto looking thing. Another one right here is the Kaiser Domen, which is about $60. This one's in the $50 range, I believe. This one's in like the $60 range. That nice Warncliffe blade. I think that's all I got for Warncliffe. Oh, I got this little guy right here. No, it's not really a Warncliffe, is it? You saw this one. This is also a great little utility knife, although quite a bit smaller. And that's it. That's it. Those are your competitive options that I own, but there's lots more out there. Amazon, any knife dealer. I think I got this off of Amazon. Pretty easy to get a hold of. My cat is now digging through my knives. And he looks like he wants to try to pick one up. Pretty funny. Anyway, so there you have it, guys. This is the Dirk Pinkerton by CJRB Ruffian. Nice little standoffs. Oh, there's something that's cool. Let's zoom in on that. Almost missed that little detail. That right there is your lanyard hole, which is very cool. So you got nothing on the face of the knife. See though, that doesn't make sense. And I'm gonna tell you why. Why would you hide the lanyard tube, but then have these, I mean, it's really nice that the pocket clip is set in like that, but having all 4 of them just kind of takes away from the look of the knife. Like, you wanted to save the looks by hiding the lanyard, not having a hole, but you made all these other big things. Like, make filler tabs for them, maybe? I don't know. That's a lot of filler tabs and a lot of screws. I think the best thing you could have done is just went tip up, left or right, and left it right there. So, anyway, that's my last little detail on that. Great knife, great quality on this for a $40 knife. It's amazing what they do nowadays for a short amount of money, even though they're Chinese knives. Like, I remember back in the day when you would order the old Kershaw knives that were made in China, and you'd get them, and they'd last you a month, and they'd just basically fall apart. Screws would fall out, blades would break. Steel was really cruddy, just the old 8CR13 MOV. But they've come a long ways. They've come a long ways. So, anyway, losing my voice. Get your wife and kids. Turn off the television. Get out and enjoy the outdoors. Toad sticker.